Your granny used to say was, shoulders back, chest out. Hey team, how you doing? Gavin here from the Growing Younger team, and today's little Workout Wednesday video is around about like eliminating back pain or improving back pain, if you like. So a lot of our clients that come to Growing Younger, obviously over the age of 40, and they basically have done no sort of formal kind of exercise or training for long periods of time. And what they tend to have is, I mean, the odd one that has manual labor jobs and stuff, but a lot of people are spending their life sitting down, okay? And sitting down is going to be the worst thing ever for back pain, okay? It's simply because if you're sitting down, the muscles that support the spine and lower back and body are basically relaxed all day long, and they're using a chair to support themselves, so they're not using their muscles. So, as your granny used to say was, shoulders back, chest out. We don't do that anymore. Nearly everybody that comes in is very rounded, their shoulders are forward, their backs are rounded, because they're so used to sitting in this position for 8 hours a day that their muscles are not strong enough to hold their bodies up. And I challenge anyone, if you just sit in the chair and hold your chest up for, see how long you can last. Most people can't do it for more than a few minutes before they're back to the old position again. So that leads to chronic back pain in everyone we see. So let's just quickly talk you through the anatomy, okay? So this is my crude drawing of the back. You've got the spine there, okay? And then you've got muscles called the spina erector, which basically means they're supporting the spine. So these muscles that run either side of the spine support it. So you can imagine like a crane, okay? So if you see the big cranes that build houses, okay? They're sort of this thing, and you've got the weight dangling this side, but they've got a big counterweight on the back, and then the guy sits in there, okay? So these spina erector muscles basically do the job of this counterweight. So if if you've done science at school, the further out that is, the more this has to be back, and the heavier this has to be to counterbalance this. So these muscles there, so if you hold something out in front of your arm, the muscles have to contract to stop you from bending forward. It's exactly the same thing. So if you spend all day sitting down and relax all the time, as soon as you got to lift something, the muscles are not working properly, and they're gonna basically pull, all right? The next thing we got is glutes. So glutes are the biggest muscle in the body, believe it or not, and they're responsible for pulling the leg back behind the body. And because they're massive powerhouses that drive you forward every time you walk, they need to be strong. And what happens is, if they're weak, or they're I'll say turned off, they're not turned off, but if they're weaker than normal, it puts a lot of stress in this lower back problem, because the back now has to compensate for the lack of weak glutes, okay? So with that in mind, there's some really good exercises I'm going to show you in a second, just probably 2-3 exercises most, that's going to help strengthen these muscles, okay? So that means that you become more durable when you go out to do things. Most people will sort of bend over or try to lift something up off the floor in such a bad way. It could be like a tissue or something very light, and their backs will tend to go. So there's a couple of things we need to do. First of all, it's a movement pattern. We need to learn how to lift from the floor properly. And when you lift from the floor properly, another little crude drawing for you is that when we lift from the floor properly, we've got a straight back, we've got straight knees, okay? And then the hands are there, and the weight, if you like, is on the floor, okay? And then the center of balance and center of weight is coming through the middle of the body. When the back is straight, these muscles are working. You're then using the glute muscles to drive the thing forward, and I'll show you in a sec, and everything is engaged. Whereas a lot of people will sort of they'll bend down to pick something up. So their legs are straight, the glutes are not really working, and all the pressure is in the lower back, which causes lots of problems, right? So I'm going to take you out in the gym. I'm going to show you a couple of exercises. You can do these very simply at home or in the gym, wherever you want to do them. And I promise that if you repetitively do these things over time, your back pain will get markedly better. However, there's a warning attached to that. If you've got chronic back pain, don't do this. Come and see a physio, right? Go and speak to a professional. But if you're somebody that it gets the odd tweaky back pain and you want to fix it, these things are quite safe to do for most people. So that's my warning. I'll take you to the gym and we'll give it a go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is that proper lifting technique, all right? So what we want to be doing, we want to be learning movement patterns to be able to lift things up off the floor and just move in a better way, okay? So a lot of people that come to the gym, they're not very good at squatting. They really they've lost the movement pattern to be able to do it. They've lost the connection, if you like, all right? So one of the best exercises that you can do to teach yourself this movement pattern is to have don't even need a heavy weight, just something in front of your feet, okay? And you're going to come in and you're going to stand. So basically, you're going to stand right in between your ankles, all right? And you're going to come down and you're going to put your bum to the back of the wall back there, okay? And you're going to drop your middle so your elbows come, or forearms come just in between your legs there. You're going to grip the weight on the floor and you're going to stand back up, okay? And take it back down. And if you can't get all the way to the floor, that's cool. Just go as low as you can, as comfortable, and come back up. And what you're going to feel some weight in your quads, you feel your glutes start to work, but also you can see my back is flat, okay? And when the back is flat and I'm holding something in front of me, these erector spinal muscles, these muscles support the spine, are now activated, okay? And when you do this exercise, you're training yourself to be able to lift things up. So when we come into the gym, the idea is to build a reserve for life. You're building the skills in the gym to be able to do things outside. So if you like gardening and moving and whatever it is, okay, if you train these movement patterns, you're going to be way better in real life, all right? So exercise number 1 is this one. So you don't even have to have any weight. You can stand up nice and tall, have your hands in front of your body, feet about, I don't know, about hip width apart, and you're going to take your bum back, keep your chest up nice and tall, and when your forearms touch the inside of your legs, you can stand straight back up again, okay? And as you get more confident with this, you can add a little bit of weight, but that's literally the exercise. Nice and slow and controlled. If you feel yourself doing this, then reset, come back up, and come back down, okay? So that's gonna be the functional movement pattern. I'm gonna do all those muscles in one go, which is really cool, okay? Now, next thing I'm gonna take you out is I'm gonna show you more of a glute bridge, essentially, which is gonna target those in a little bit more detail. Exercise is a glute bridge, okay? And the glute bridge is literally going to really work on those glute muscles, the biggest muscles in the body, okay? And as I said, when they drive the hips forward. So if you lie on the floor, okay, bend your legs just a little bit. Now what I like to do is lift up my toes. When I lift up my toes and dig my heels into the floor, the hamstrings start to work. And the hamstrings and glutes are kind of tied together, okay? Arms by the side, and you're going to lift up off the floor as high as you possibly can, and the glutes will start to activate. And you come back down nice and slow, touch, come back up. So now if you find this super easy, okay, now that's dead easy for me, there's no issues. You just step the feet out a little bit further, drive it in and lift, okay? And the stronger you get, you'll be able to take your feet further out to a point where your legs are straight and you can lift them up, and that gets your glutes done, okay? But for you, just maybe an intermediate thing, and come back up nice and slow. Really, really simple but effective exercises for you to strengthen the muscles that support the lower back, okay? Now, how many times are you going to do it? Well, like anything, if you spend lots of time sitting down doing not a lot, then once a week would be a really good start. But I'd like you to do these exercises about 3 times a week if you can. You could even do them, if you really wanted to, 5 or 6 days a week. And you're going to do about 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, focus on the form. And the more you practice, the better you're going to get, okay? So that is really it. That's really how to manage your back pain. But like I did say, if you do have real chronic back pain, then it's very, very important you speak to a specialist. Backs are very complicated, but generally, if you can strengthen the muscles that support the back, then you're going to be in a much better position to be more resilient and be able to sort of like bounce back from back pain. The other thing which I didn't mention at the beginning was walking is fantastic for back pain, alleviating back pain. We find that as soon as we get people moving, the mere fact of moving, obviously when you're walking and standing upright, you're bouncing on one leg either side, you're supporting your lower back. It is a fantastic way to manage your back pain. And I've seen that with clients here who's had spinal fusion surgeries and back surgeries and all sorts of stuff, and it works really, really well. And again, when you build up to that, okay, start off nice and slow, start with a couple of minutes, build up. The stronger you get, the fitter you get, the easier and better it will become for you. That is my workout Wednesday. If you've got any questions about lower back pain, leave a comment down below. If I can't answer them, Alex will be able to do that for us. And yeah, have a really good day.